The courtroom was a study in contrasts: the stern mahogany of the bench, the hum of the air conditioning, and the palpable tension radiating from the two women standing before Judge Ebony K. Williams. The judge, a woman of sharp intellect and composed grace, looked down from her elevated perch, her nameplate shimmering under the courtroom lights. She hailed from North Carolina by way of Louisiana, carrying a blend of West Coast cool and a definitive New York edge that demanded respect without uttering a single shout. "Is there a problem, ma'am?" the judge asked, her voice steady and clear. "No, I do not, Your Honor," the woman replied, shifting her weight. "Equal justice is the bedrock of our society," the judge continued, her gaze sweeping across the room. "Freedom, integrity, these are the pillars I strive to uphold. You run your household, and that man runs his. I chose to pursue the law to be a voice for those who cannot be heard. This court holds no bias. It serves people from all walks of life, regardless of their background." The case at hand involved Ava Gomez, a young nursing student, and Lisa Ma, a mother of two. Ava claimed she had been hired to watch Lisa's two children, aged 8 and 9, while Lisa was on a week-long vacation in Maui with a new boyfriend. The conflict arose when Lisa refused to pay the agreed $500, citing an unauthorized spending spree on her credit card. "Ms. Gomez, you are suing for $500, alleging unpaid childcare services." "Tell us why we are in court today," Judge Williams prompted. "Your Honor, I am here because Lisa refused to pay me for babysitting her children," Ava began, her voice trembling slightly. "Lisa offered me $500. I typically watch them for a day or two for free, but a week-long supervision is different. And she was in Maui." "That is not your concern, Ms. Gomez," the judge interrupted gently but firmly. "Stay focused on the arrangement." Ava continued, explaining that she had taken the children to movies, restaurants, and a water park to ensure they enjoyed their spring break. Lisa, however, felt betrayed. "When I gave Ava my card, I trusted her completely," Lisa interjected. "In the past, she never spent more than $30 a day. This time, she charged $620 over 7 days. I stocked 2 large refrigerators with food before I left. I told her the card was for the children's needs, not for a lavish vacation." The judge reviewed the evidence. The credit card bill was indeed staggering: $56 for seafood, $50 for a movie theater, $50 for a water park, and $50 for a steakhouse. The children were only 8 and 9 years old. "Ms. Gomez, you are 20 years old and a nursing student," the judge observed. "You possess the skills to understand that there is a significant gap between $30 and $620. Do you see why Ms. Ma is surprised?" Ava looked down. "I just wanted them to have fun. It is a lot of money, and you cannot hide behind the claim of full authorization when it is clearly an exorbitant amount for 2 children," the judge said sternly. After hearing both sides, the judge prepared her ruling. She acknowledged the lack of a specific spending limit, but emphasized the importance of established patterns and personal responsibility. "I cannot award you the full $500, Ms. Gomez," the judge declared. "You've violated the trust of a long-standing, reciprocal relationship. However, Ms. Ma, you also had a duty to set boundaries, especially given the young age of your caregiver. I will deduct the excessive portion from the agreed fee. I rule in favor of the plaintiff for the amount of $200. As the first case concluded, a new dispute took center stage. Lori Smith stood before the bench, accusing her neighbor, Austin Michaels, of property damage caused by his frequent, rowdy parties. "He throws these loud, obscene parties, Your Honor," Lori stated. "They had a destructive party in their front yard, throwing balloons filled with foam that ruined one side of my car." Austin, appearing unbothered, shrugged. "I told all my neighbors in advance to move their cars. She just ignored me." The judge examined the photos of the car, which was coated in a stubborn, frosty, white residue. The repair estimate from a professional body shop totaled $1,500, covering paint and labor. "Mr. Michaels," the judge turned to the young man. "You claim to have given notice, but let us look at the facts. You distributed a flyer suggesting that neighbors move their cars. You used the word suggest. You are in no legal position to demand anything from your neighbors. Austen looked defiant. Since she was the only one who did not move her car, there must be something wrong with her. The judge did not falter. Mr. Michaels, you are at a stage where you prioritize fun, but adults have rights to the quiet enjoyment of their property. You have no legal authority to impose your lifestyle on others. The fact that you offered cookies does not waive the liability for the destruction you caused. She turned to Laurie, then back to Austen. The court rules in complete favor of the plaintiff for the amount of $1,500. As the proceedings wrapped up, the atmosphere in the room shifted. Justice had been served, not just in dollars and cents, but in the reaffirmation of responsibility, boundaries, and mutual respect. Judge Ebony K. Williams watched as the parties departed, her commitment to equal justice once again solidified. The courtroom was empty, but the weight of the day's lessons remained, a reminder that while freedom is a cherished value, it must always be balanced by the integrity and consideration we owe to one another in a civil society. Each ruling was more than a legal conclusion. It was a guide for how to navigate the complex, often messy, but always rewarding landscape of human relationships.